I seen him at the plough match. I kind of went with the intentions of kind of really wanting to look into him. And I was talking to some of the lads on the stand, and then I just happened to speaking to a woman, and she said she had one as well, and said she would never go back either, like, so it's working perfect since. I was surprised at the way it does it. Like, it could be down there, and next thing you turn around and it's up there. Like, it just goes all over the place. You never know where it's been, like, you know. And your lawn is always cut. You come home in the evening and it's like somebody just cut your lawn today. It's much healthier looking. It's real lushy green, like, now, especially this time of the year now when it's growing mad. It's sharpened up. It looks like a carpet, like, it's lovely and green, mowed off, shaved off, lovely and neat, like. With the pets, it just bumps into them, and they don't really care. If they see it coming, they'll get out of its way, but they don't take any pass on it. I'd have no problem recommending it to anybody. Like, it's foolproof, like, really. There's nothing. I'd never go back to a lawnmower anyway.
I had a ride-on, and it definitely wouldn't cut the grass the exact way that's cutting now. It's absolutely brilliant. The finish off the lawn is just second to none. It does its own thing, I don't have to worry about it. When the robotic mower cuts the grass, it just takes off just the bare little piece from the top. The robotic mower was out in the grass there, cutting away, and the rain bucketing down on top of it. So if it can do it in that rain, it'll certainly do it in any other rain. I'll never ever again go near a tractor mower or a rider mower, nothing. Just a robotic mower, that's it.
I live here in Tipperary, and the weather at the best of times does be damp. So having an Automower like this, being able to cut the lawn for you and look out at it, it's great. There's never an issue with it when it's raining. It's like it's cutting it when it's dry. It cuts it perfect. When I'd done up the back lawn last September, I realised the size of the lawn I had to cut, and it wasn't something I could like to face into coming home from work. So a friend of mine has a Husqvarna shop, so I got talking to him. So he introduced me to this, the Husqvarna Automower, and to be honest, I've never looked back. There's no comparison really. It's a totally different ball game. It's like walking into a golf course at times. The lawn is just totally different. It's way healthier, it's greener. It's like you had a greenkeeper in looking after it. There's a few slopes there now, about 20 degrees. It goes up as if it was like on a flat surface. It's amazing what I can do, like, very robust. Way more family time with the kids. Like, the last thing you want to do is when you come home from a long drive is face into cutting the lawn. Yeah, I called it after my wife. I called it Maria. Basically just for the laugh. When it's raining, you know now you can get 4 or 5, maybe a week solid of rain here, and you can't cut the lawn. But this lad, I should call it this one. She, Maria, I send her out in the rain. I don't have to cut the lawn anymore. The first day, the back I had a couple of times. After that, then, pay no attention to it. Don't even look at it anymore.
Just to see it coming down the hill here behind me and just waiting for it to fall over the stone wall, and it doesn't fall over the stone wall, it just turns around and goes off another direction. Even in a frosty morning, to see it making shapes and lines in the garden. We have rabbits, especially early in the morning. It doesn't even bother them. Oh, it manages fine. It has no problem with the slopes, so it hasn't in the garden. There's a couple of areas up at the top where the trees are, but there's no problem. It just nudges into them and it's back out again. Hits the occasional schlitter, hurl, hits it, bounces back, off it goes again. No problems with it. Oh, it'll take 5 hours, so it would, to do it right. And then we had a problem with dumping grass as well. We have a neighbour here and he has cattle. He said we could dump the grass in there, but it was just too dangerous. It starts at 5 in the morning, finishes around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So I just couldn't understand how something so small could cut such a big lawn. I expected the wind, because it's quite windy up here, so it is. I expected the wind to blow it over. That hasn't happened. I expected it to fall out over the wall. That hasn't happened. So everything that I expected for it to happen, that I could say to my wife, now it's going back, hasn't happened. It just goes off, it does its own thing. I suppose it kind of entertains us too, small bits of it. You know, where's it gone, what's it doing? Stop thinking, just go and do it. It's the best thing to come into this house, and nobody can borrow it.
I had a ride on beforehand, and it was taking me an hour to an hour and a half every week to cut the grass, and then maybe another half an hour to clean the mower depending on the weather. So I've retired recently, and I just wanted to get more time to do other things around the garden and to do other things like improve my golf. It's 2,428 square metres. I wasn't sure whether an item as small as that can do the job, but it just keeps working away. It just keeps working away. It goes back and charges and off it goes again, hail, rain. The narrow part is about 3 metres, maybe about 1.5 metres in fact at some points, you know, so it's about 25-30 metres long, so it's a long narrow stretch, but even that's been wired and it's working successfully. There's a septic tank, there's a few trees and there's a few other shrubberies, and it's all been wired by the installer, and everything is performing just as expected. It's absolutely fantastic. It has surprised me, the fact that it was able to cut all through the night, all through the rain, still cutting, goes back and charges itself seamlessly. I mean, it's fantastic. There's a SIM card in the 450X. It's registered and paired with my smartphone, and I can see where the mower is at any stage. And if it moves beyond the perimeter, the geofence, I'll be alerted to that fact. It's like a big weight lifted off my shoulders. If you look around the garden, you'll see various spots where I have to dump the grass. And this is better for the lawn actually, when it's effectively mulched back into the soil. So that's going to be another plus for this type of operation, you know, not collecting the grass at all. It's the way to go, guys. It's absolutely the way to go. Forget about buying petrol and having to hop up on the ride on. Get your Automower, plug it in and forget about it.